Ryuichi Kihara has finally broken his silence. This is the emotional story of figure skating pair stars Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara, a journey built on trust, sacrifice, and an unbreakable bond forged over 7 unforgettable years. What began with simple everyday moments, cooking together in a tiny kitchen, surviving exhausting mornings in Canada, and commuting to the rink through freezing weather, slowly evolved into something far deeper than an ordinary skating partnership. Behind the medals and applause was a connection that could not be explained with words alone. Even though Kihara has always been quiet and distant from the media, the small moments revealed everything. The way they supported each other after injuries, the silent understanding during difficult performances, and the calm reassurance they gave one another spoke louder than any interview ever could. And even beyond competition, their connection never faded. Together, they continued building projects, training programs, and creative work under a shared vision, proving their relationship extended far beyond the ice itself. But this story is not simply about winning gold medals. It is about a bond that refused to break, because hidden behind their graceful performances was a terrifying reality no one fully understood. The expressions seen on the ice were not only signs of beauty and elegance. Beneath those smiles lived silence, pressure, fear, and truths neither of them could openly speak about. In the brutal world of pair skating, where every movement demands absolute trust, their 7-year journey was never just a success story. It was a constant battle against collapse. Looking at their career from the outside, people see world championship titles, Grand Prix final victories, and historic achievements. But behind those accomplishments existed endless repetition, pain, and pressure. Every season involved hundreds of lift practices, where even a single mistake could instantly destroy trust between partners. In pair skating, more than 40% of the score depends on synchronized elements like lifts and throw jumps. That means one small physical issue from either skater can immediately turn into disaster. Their life in Canada exposed the harsh reality hidden behind the glamorous image fans often imagine. There were no luxurious lifestyles or superstar privileges. They took turns cooking in a cramped kitchen, woke up before sunrise, and pushed through exhausting training sessions simply to survive another day. And strangely, it was those ordinary struggles that transformed them from teammates into something much deeper, 2 people connected by complete understanding. Then came the moment that changed everything. For years, Kihara remained silent. But when he finally spoke, he did not talk about victory. He talked about fear. He revealed the terrifying pressure of pair skating, the tiny timing mistakes during performances, the slightest imbalance in movement, and the constant possibility that one wrong second could lead to a catastrophic fall. While audiences celebrated breathtaking routines, Miura and Kihara were standing inches away from danger every single time they stepped onto the ice. And that is the true heart of this story. Not fame, not medals, but the question of how trust built under extreme pressure can completely transform 2 human beings. And the most shocking part? The full truth may still not have been revealed. Pair figure skating exists in a world where beauty and danger live side by side. And within that world, the relationship between Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara became something far greater than technical teamwork. What fans eventually witnessed as perfect chemistry on the ice was actually built through years of frustration, misunderstandings, and painful trial and error. In the beginning, nothing truly worked. Their timing was inconsistent. Their jumps failed to synchronize. Their throw axles lacked stability. And during early international competitions, their technical scores often fell far below the world's top pairs. For a long time, they were unable to seriously compete for medals. Most athletes in that situation would have focused only on improving technique. But Miura and Kihara made a different choice. Before mastering the skills, they chose to understand each other first. After practice, they spent hours talking, sharing everyday experiences, discussing weaknesses, and confronting uncomfortable truths about themselves. At the time, it may have looked like wasted energy, but in reality, those conversations completely transformed their performances. Season after season, their program component scores continued rising, their synchronization improved dramatically, and their throw jump success rate climbed from unstable levels to nearly elite consistency. Eventually, they reached the top tier of world figure skating. But as trust grew stronger, a new problem appeared: dependence. The closer they became, the more dangerous their situation became emotionally. If one athlete got injured, the other person's career could instantly stop as well. That invisible pressure followed them everywhere. There were moments before major competitions when injuries were already present, yet they still chose to compete, not because they were reckless, but because neither wanted to hold the other back. That emotional weight became one of the greatest burdens they carried together. And this is what separates elite pair skaters from everyone else. They understand the risks completely and still choose to step onto the ice. Because in pair skating, true safety does not exist. Every lift, every throw, and every rotation carries danger. The best athletes are not the ones who avoid risk, they are the ones who learn how to survive inside it. Now, however, their story is entering a completely different chapter. Their connection is no longer limited to competition alone. Through creative projects, athlete development programs, and artistic collaborations, their partnership has evolved beyond simply winning. What once started as a relationship built for survival is slowly becoming a shared life mission. And that transformation may be their greatest achievement of all. But even now, there are still unanswered questions buried beneath the surface. Because behind the glory of becoming world champions lies a hidden cost that few people truly understand. In recent years, the entire figure skating world has faced growing concerns over brutal schedules, physical exhaustion, and long-term damage to athletes' bodies. And Miura and Kihara have not escaped those realities. A single season demands non-stop travel across the world, Grand Prix events, finals, world championships, with constant changes in time zones, temperatures, ice quality, and training environments. For pair skaters, where absolute synchronization is everything, even the smallest disruption can destroy performance timing. Some of their visible mistakes during competitions may not have been simple errors at all. They may have been signs of accumulated exhaustion. And perhaps the most dangerous part of pair skating is the physical toll created by lifts and throw elements. The repeated stress placed on shoulders, backs, hips, and joints becomes devastating over time. During lifts, the human body absorbs forces several times greater than normal weight, repeated thousands of times every year. Eventually, the body reaches a breaking point. And when Kihara spoke about fear, he was not only talking about failure. He was talking about the terrifying possibility that one day his body might simply refuse to continue. But Riku Miura was fighting her own battle as well. In pair skating, fear does not belong only to the person doing the lifting. The athlete being thrown into the air carries the same terror. Trusting another person completely with your body while flying through the air at full speed is something most people could never imagine. The moment trust breaks, everything collapses. Behind Miura's calm landings and composed performances were countless moments of fear she had to overcome again and again. Every successful routine was built on invisible courage, and this may be the true source of their strength. Not physical power, not technical ability, but the willingness to move forward while fully understanding that everything could fall apart at any moment. Many elite athletes disappear once their peak fades, but Miura and Kihara have remained among the world's best because they adapted to reality instead of running from it. Still, the story is far from over. In fact, this may be the most important turning point of all. Will they continue competing, or will they finally move toward the next stage of their lives? That decision is no longer just about career choices. It could completely redefine their relationship itself. And so far, no clear answer has been given. Time is moving quietly, but relentlessly. Everything they have built together could take on an entirely new meaning depending on the next step they choose. Now facing the reality that their competitive careers are entering the later stages, Miura and Kihara continue evolving, but no longer in ways measured by jump rotations or lift difficulty. Recently, something deeper has changed in their performances. Their programs now carry greater emotional density, sharper musical interpretation, and extraordinary synchronization in breathing, timing, and movement. These are details difficult to measure statistically, yet judges recognize them immediately. And that is why their program component scores remain among the most consistent in the world. Because what they are showing now cannot be created through technique alone. What makes their story even more fascinating is how their partnership continues evolving outside the rink. Joint creative projects, mentoring younger athletes, and expanding into artistic collaborations all suggest something much bigger is happening. This is no longer preparation for retirement. It is the transformation of two athletes into creators. But that evolution also carries risk. If they devote more time to outside projects, maintaining elite competitive performance becomes harder. Yet, if they focus only on competition, they may lose the opportunity to build something even greater beyond skating. This dilemma has destroyed many legendary pairs before them. But Miura and Kihara seem different. Because every major decision is shared, neither moves alone. They communicate constantly, shaping their future together through discussion rather than individual ambition. And perhaps that process is what transformed them from simple skating partners into something closer to a lifelong alliance. In the end, only one question remains. How far will they go? And what legacy will they leave behind? Gold medals? Or an entirely new definition of partnership itself? Maybe both. But one thing is already certain. Their story has moved far beyond results and trophies. Even after the ice melts, what they created will remain not merely as records in history books, but as memories powerful enough to inspire the next generation. And yet, one final truth may still remain hidden. As long as that truth has not been fully revealed, this story is not over.